I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Grant for that jump shot's off. Long rebound run down by Hodges, and here's the King. That's a three.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Edition of Snowman in the Morning, because frankly, I am not feeling well at all. I had a horrible time sleeping. But I plan to be here. I know Cole plans to be here, and in fact, he is here. Let me get him in. And I have a few things. I'm going to get a few things off my chest. Everything football-wise, we are saving until Friday, until tomorrow, because I want all of our football acumen. I want all of our football acumen to come out. So everything, including Matt Ryan, including Tyreek Hill, and all of our thoughts will be pinned to tomorrow. Will be pinned to the Friday edition. But I wanted to get this one in today so I can keep my streak alive. I'll be forced to miss the week of April 4th because I'll be in the hospital getting this cancerous tumor out of me, and working on a diet change, working on a change in drinking my coffee. But today I just need to get this hour or hour plus in, because I know my partner has to depart at 9:15 for a mandatory meeting. And I want to get this, I want to get this time in and have this time with my buddy and have this time with y'all. And then I'm going to strictly go rest until my body wakes up and I have to do some duties around the house. Now, LeBron James is a coward. You heard what I said. And I have no qualms in saying it. Where was LeBron James last night when the Lakers needed him?
He was on the floor.
Before you answer that question, we got to do this right.
Oh.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Now, I have two reasons why I'm doing this way. One, because I got shit to get off my chest. And two, it wouldn't be right if I did it otherwise. But LeBron James is a coward.
Coward?
Playoff team in your house, chance to make a statement, and where's your Kang?
Coward? That is
coward.
Harsh, that is harsh language. You shouldn't talk that ill about him.
Yes, the fuck I should. Because LeBron James is a coward.
Let's see, where was LeBron last night? He was on the floor hitting a game winner last night. No. He had his hands on his hips when it was a 4-on-5 breakaway on the other end. No.
Strike two.
No. He was. Oh, I know. He was berating a teammate on the bench. No. His butt wasn't even in the arena.
Ding, ding. And thank you, Sick Diggy, for this inspiration. Yeah, cancer ain't got a chance with me. You may have taken my parents, but they ain't taking my ass. And I'm gonna have to work. See, now that Shaft theme by Isaac Hayes is in my head, and I'm gonna have to work it into the program some kind of way. Sixers win in Los Angeles, 126-121. I asked my question again. Where was LeBron James? LeBron, there's a playoff team in your house. Where the fuck are you?
And oh yes, I'm so glad you introduced this, because I have something to introduce on my own.
Really?
Yes.
What you got for me?
So there was this bright opinion
Shit.
about the Lakers' chances in the playoffs.
Just tell me when you're ready.
All right, and the statement went as follows. Go ahead, sir. Quote: the Lakers will defeat the Suns in the first round. Close quote. Now, before I continue, you can let free with whatever element you want to put forth.
You're a stupid dumbass.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Bitch, are you for real?
And
Right.
and finally,
Euphoria.
I'm like, with what team? With what team? And you have this guy who
delusions. Fuck cocaine. Delusions a hell of a drug.
Mm-hmm. You have this guy who cannot stay on the court, and
which one?
Well, yeah.
Which one?
And I've said this. This is what I asked. I said, okay, so if a team in the Lakers were better last year than they are this year, and they faced a not as good Suns team last year, but the Suns beat them, what makes you think the reverse is going to happen?
The Suns beat their ass.
What makes you think the reverse is going to happen this year when your team is worse and the Suns are much better? I'm like, I just don't understand what they see. And I said, okay, here are some laundry list of things you have to concern yourself with. The team is old. Not that
the Suns. Wait a minute.
Old.
Wait a minute. I interrupt with a question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but don't the Phoenix Suns have the best record in the NBA right now?
You are 100% positively correct. Yes, they do.
So what the fuck are the Lakers going to do with this Suns team that's better than the team that, let me think. First round? No. Semis? No. Conference round? No. That went to the World Championship Series last year.
Yeah. And pushed the eventual champs to 6 games. What I don't get is that Suns team is not as good as the one that is playing now. And
the one that's playing now is is making tracks
right
toward that number 1 seed, and they should I believe they should clinch it within the next week.
They should clinch very soon.
They should clinch that number 1 seed blindfolded.
And so, they were saying, well, and Lakers fan was saying that, okay, we're gonna have LeBron, we're gonna have Davis, we're gonna have Westbrook, we're gonna have Carmelo Anthony.
Stop. Back up. You're not gonna have Davis.
Well, okay. Well, let me go through the laundry list here.
Okay.
So Carmelo Anthony. So Russell Westbrook. Okay, now we get to the real big time players. So you have Anthony Davis's health.
Euphoria.
And then you have LeBron James's ego.
Bitch, please.
You cannot have this team go up against the Sun squad, who is younger, who is hungrier, who is faster, who wants it on both sides of the floor, and who are much better than the Lakers squad. And the thing is, you think
you take a look at the Suns and you think,
damn,
have thought this before Christmas. So you are thinking that these Lakers are going to, if they do make it to the play-in, a play-in series.
You said it right. If they make it to the play-in series, because the way they looked last night after the first quarter, I watched the game. Okay, I have people telling me you need to watch the game and see how good LeBron is. Where the fuck was he last night? If he's so good, why? Riddle me this, sir.
Okay.
How many times has LeBron James played a full 82 game season?
Okay, so he's played 18 full seasons. This is 19, so this won't matter. This won't count, obviously, because he was not playing last night. Let me see. 5, no. 4, no. 3, no. 2, no. 1. He's only played one 82-game season in his career. 1.
In the 3 years that Michael Jordan was with the Washington Bullets, he played a full 82 games twice.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought.
And the one time he couldn't, he physically couldn't.
Right.
He physically couldn't. Let me say that again. He physically, yes, the legendary Michael Jordan at age 38, unfortunately had his limitations. And he physically couldn't play the full 82 games once in 3 years in Washington. Meanwhile, in Chicago, right up until both retirements, he was scheduled to play 82 games, beginning with the 86-87 season, because you have his rookie year in 85. You have 86 where he broke his foot.
Yep.
So we begin with the 86-87 season where he was locked and loaded and ready to go. And every single season, he played 82 games. He was scheduled to play. He started. He led the league in scoring every fucking year. And Sick Diggy, thank you for this. Let me put this up here. The Suns are far more consistent. Yes, they are. And they are hungry for a world championship. The Lakers are dismal and unfocused. Let me repeat those last 2 words. Dismal and unfocused.
So why would you want to insult the team that tasted what it felt like to lose in the ultimate series? They had a 2 games to none lead and lost.
Professor Johnson, I have a question.
Yes, Brian.
Isn't the goal to win the ultimate series, the NBA World Championship Series?
Yes, that's the ultimate goal.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yes.
Okay, follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to do this. I have a follow-up question that begins this way. Start a conversation with a bronsexual.
Oh Lord, no.
Why did this bronsexual said to me, and I kid you not when I say this, LeBron has had a hell of a career. It doesn't matter what he does from here on out. I didn't do that right. I mean, look, I'm getting used to all the toys that Cole gave me, okay? So I want to put on a great video presentation, especially when I get my new equipment. This bronsexual said to me, quote, in 19 years, LeBron has shown from day one he is the greatest player of all time.
Oh, no.
Close quote.
Oh, good Lord.
Now I'm going to ask the fans in tow to forgive me for my response. And I already see my friend's head bowed to the microphone. But my response came as follows. Quote. Are you out of your rabbit-ass rat-picking fucking mind? Close quote.
Oh my gosh.
And then it gets better. Like I said, this is an express edition. We'll be fully loaded for tomorrow. And I better get this in while I have the opportunity. We're presented this month by Michael Scott Insurance. Give them a call at 810-985-3211. I'm when I get my sponsors together, I'm going to have an opening script and a sponsor script. I'm just winging it right now, and somehow people are telling me it works. But with all that being said, it led to a conversation with another bronzexual.
Oh no!
Yeah, 2 in 1 hour. You know, this bronzexual had the unmitigated gall.
Oh Lord! What
to say to me, all the Lakers have to do is get in. He took my statement about my beloved 49ers and said that. I said, you stupid fuckwit. I said, you stupid fuckwit. Have you seen this team? And this is where I handed off to Professor Johnson to break this team down. I'm sorry for taking up part of the class, sir.
No, that's all right, sir. That's all right, sir. And it's like what Six said.
I'm gonna sip my coffee while Professor Johnson breaks down this horrible Laker team.
It's like what Six said, and it's exactly right. You have Lakers fan that is insulting the defending Western Conference champs.
What's that? Say whoa. Say that again.
You're having
the defending what?
The defending Western Conference champs. You are having Lakers fan insulting the defending Western Conference champs. And
that ain't the only. Can I add a few teams there? Can I add a few teams to that? You have Lakers fandom that are not only insulting the defending Western Conference champs, they're insulting the defending world champions that put a foot in their ass twice and who is now the number 2 team in the conference. You have a team that's insulting the Chicago Bulls who beat their ass twice. You have a team that's insulting the top team in the East and the Miami Heat. And oh, by the way, you have Lakers fandom that are so stupid and blind that they're insulting not only the defending Western Conference champs, they're also the top team in the Western Conference, the number 2 team, the Memphis Grizzlies, who beat the Nets last night. I'll touch that after the break. And the team that nobody wants to see when they get healthy, the Golden State Warriors. Please continue.
So this team, who's supposed to be world beaters, and you all have to understand that you're fighting for your play-in lives, not your play-off lives. You're fighting for your play-in lives.
Amen. Amen to that.
Because at current, you are 1/2 game above the Pelicans for 9th.
And the Pelicans are coming.
Mm-hmm.
They've made 2 smart decisions. One with CJ McCollum, and the other they told Zion Williamson, shut down.
And if you don't believe,
I have much more on that. I'll save that for next week.
Yeah, and if you don't believe that, just look at that 28-point butt whooping that the Pelicans left the Lakers at Staples Crypto.com. You remember that game?
Smackdown.
You remember that game? The same game where Trevor Reese wanted to talk ill to a Lakers fan. The same game where LeBron James wanted to talk ill to a Lakers fan. And the same game, and get ready, sir, the same game where Russell Westbrook said, quote, if the Lakers fans want to boo, I don't give a crap. They can take they behinds home. Close quote.
Can I add something to that, please?
Oh, yes, sir.
Can I add? Russell Westbrook, you stupid motherfucker. You get your ass kicked by 28 points. And since that game, the Lakers have only gotten worse. The Pelicans have gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
The Spurs have gotten better.
And you're going exactly where I was
My
about to head.
My San Antonio Spurs, one of the teams I love to cover,
You're going
with
exactly where I
my
was about
buddy
to head.
Bill Schoenig as their radio voice. That team from Texas that gives the Lakers nightmares are coming for your asses.
That's where I wanted to head, right there.
Oh, you heading to the Alamo too? You heading to Texas?
That's where I wanted to go, because they're only 2 games up over the Spurs, and if the Spurs catch them, that's where the Lakers will sit. And
And oh, by the way, the last 2 times the Spurs met the Lakers, the Spurs smacked them.
And
forgive me for borrowing the vernacular, but I think it applies in this case. The last 2 times the Spurs met the Lakers, the Spurs smacked them like bitches. Okay.
You all still have 2 more games to play against the Pelicans. The first one actually will be this Sunday in New Orleans. So
it's in New Orleans?
Yes, sir.
I wish they'd move that game to the Superdome.
And then they'll have a return trip.
I wish they would move that game to the Superdome.
And then they'll have a return trip back to Staples next Friday on April Fool's Day. So
what if the Pels win both of those and smack the Lakers around like bitches, like everybody else says?
Well, more than likely that would mean the Lakers will be in 10th. Then they got to cross the fingers and hope the Spurs aren't coming from behind them. And if that's the case, and they keep charging like they are, and the Lakers keep playing like they are, sans when LeBron is motivated to want to show, well, I am on God level, and when I'm motivated to play, I can give you a triple.
Whoa. Back up. Back the fuck up.
Oh, Lord.
LeBron is on what?
On God level.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
When he just be looking, when he LeBron, when he wants to
got it. Wait, wrong one. I'm pushing too many buttons here. When he
quote, just be looking for a hater, close quote. When he is on that mode, that on God mode, on just be looking on a hater mode, on I'm on another level mode, on the self-professed the best player in the world mode.
No, the best player in the world unfortunately has a strained ligament in his foot. One of the best players in the world has a strained ligament in his foot. Another best player in the world, unfortunately, is out with a wrist injury. And another is a champion, number 34. How come some of the best champions wear 34?
That's a great number.
It's a great universal number. The other great universal number? 23.
23. Mm-hmm. and see, that individual knows that. That's why he wore it for so long.
LeBron had the gall, the balls, the nuts, and the unmitigated nerve to wear number 23 for so many years. I said it, and I will say it again, and I will put the proper elements around it. Quote, LeBron had no goddamn business wearing number 23 ever. Close quote.
But it takes having him play above what his body can handle for the Lakers to even stand a chance to be in these games.
Michael Jordan did it, but wait a minute, Michael Jordan had a complete game, and when his flight patterns started to erode, he developed the second most indefensible shot in NBA history, that fadeaway, which Braun tried to borrow, and it's a line. It's more of a line drive from George Springer than with arc on it. And I'm reminded of this game in 1995 when the Bulls played the Knicks. I want to say March of 1995 in the United Center. Mike goes for a fadeaway against Patrick Ewing with the shot clock running down. Ewing got a piece of it, came back to Michael, and Michael said, "Okay, block this," and put arc on it. How'd it go in that commercial? Nothing but net.
Lakers fan, your team is ninth right now, currently. Only a half a game in front of the Pelicans. You now, at current, have 9 games left. So you have 9 games, and you're not going to be 6th because you're 12 games behind the Nuggets to get that. So
thank you, Denver Nuggets.
So it's play-in city for the Lakers. And currently that means you'd be playing your cohabitants in the Clippers in the play-in series, in the play-in round. And of course, if you were to win that, you will probably be in. But if you were to lose that, then it means you would have to play another game. And both the Timberwolves and the Pelicans have spanked that hiney in your building.
They've spanked that ass
in your building.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone on the road. They have spanked that behind in your building. Both teams have.
Both teams have. Salute to Ty Ray TV checking in to say what up. Thank you, Ty. And go check out. Go. What up, Dow? Now he's from Michigan. Okay. Yeah. And if you haven't had a chance, go check him out as well, as we're wrapping up this Bronzexual confession before break. But I will close out this Bronzexual confession by saying LeBron James is a coward. He should have played last night, but he was managing this mysterious knee injury. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Or as Eddie Murphy said, quote,
"Oh no.
Get the fuck out my face with that bullshit." Close quote.
Oh my goodness.
So Bronzexuals, do me a favor. Take your king. No, take your king and go the fuck away. Because the real king, the real kings of basketball, and there are many, actually love to play. It was just a bonus to them that they got paid for it. And Bronzexuals, enjoy your non-playoff year. Beat the Suns.
Man, the Suns in the playoffs. They ain't gonna reach the playoffs.
Look, the Suns could be without Chris Paul, without Jay Crowder, without DeAndre Ayton, and they'll still whip that ass by 50. And thank you, Bronzexuals, for all the extra content.
Yes.
Thirsty bitches.
You all are the real MVPs.
Thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty.
That's for all of his 100 million followers.
Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of the Bronzexual Confessions.
Oh my goodness. Please
Ty,
don't
I have the same plea.
Yes, sir.
I have the same plea.
I'm with you on that, Ty.
And Cool McCain said, said this, that he combusted in the huddle last night.
I just saw that highlight.
Warrior team got him.
Yeah. I just saw that highlight before we actually came on. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I saw that.
They let a shorthanded Warrior team beat their ass in Miami. 118 to 104.
Yeah, Udonis Haslam did not seem happy with old Jimmy Butler, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure didn't. Now then, on to other business. There was a picture I sent to you, my friend.
Oh, what picture are we going to show?
Today I introduced the term Irvingologist.
Oh, Lord.
Here's Snowman's definition. An Irvingologist is a Kyrie Irving apologist, sort of like a bronzexual, but in this case, slightly worse.
Whoa. Let me invoke somebody that I know and love. Time out.
Please do.
Red flag on the plate. No. We're going to stop this. We're actually going to hit the rewind button and have instant replay on this.
All right.
And an Irvingologist is worse than a bronzexual. There is no fan base on the planet today. Not Cowboys fan, not Lakers fan, not old Patriots fan, not Bradyites. There isn't a fan, even Yankees fan. There isn't a fan base on the face of the planet that is worse, that is funnier, and that is more hilarious, and that is stupider than the bronzexuals. And yes, record
You're
me
right
to say that.
about
I 100% agree.
You're right.
Stand by it.
Okay, then I'll stand by it with you. I will revise my statement. I will revise my definition and say an Irvingologist is an apologist for Kyrie Irving. And this fan base is about as close to bad as bronzexual.
Okay.
And wentsexuals.
I can rock with that.
And Bradyites and Hardenites. And I'll introduce the Hardenites next week.
The beard.
Now, as I said, I sent you some goodies yesterday. I sent you a little goodie yesterday where this back-asswards idiot on Facebook actually fixed his fingers to type that Kyrie Irving.
Oh my.
I'm going to have you read it, and I can put the quotes behind it because we got to do this right.
Oh Lord. All right, let me pull it up because I did see it.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right, I got it.
This Irvingologist said,
quote, I really believe if Kai would have been playing all season, he would have been the scoring champ. Boy efficiency is really at an all-time high this year so far. He was already the best under the rim finisher in league history. Then add that more efficient jumper and shot decision. Close quote. What's up, Sam?
to this Irvingologist. Good morning, Sam. To this Irvingologist. Are you that stupid or that dumb or both? Let's take it from let's take it from the top.
I'm sorry,
motherfucker. Stupid motherfucker. I'll say it for you, stupid motherfucker.
I mean, my English nature just bubbled up in me. I'm sorry, sir. Continue.
Listen, my English nature bubbled up in me after reading that goddamn thing.
I may have to apply your technique in reading those types of quotes because you read them slower on purpose. I need to do that.
I do read them slower. And there's a very detailed purpose to that.
I know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
You know, you've rocked with me on the air. There are very detailed purposes.
And yes, that was a tip to the captain, not to you, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on your Irvingologist.
You're fine. You're fine. Tell me, how in the bloody fuck is Irving a great scorer?
it's
What's up?
interesting.
Tell me how. What's up, Ben?
What's
Tell
up?
me
What's up, Ben?
how in the bloody red fuck is Irving a great scorer like these Irvingologists make him out to be? What?
It's interesting what a 50 and 60-point game can do for a player's reputation. If seemingly he can manage that, all of a sudden he's a great scorer. That's not necessarily true.
But see, Karl Anthony Towns is a scorer.
Yeah.
There's a
And pushing him
difference.
for his 60. Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is a
he's
scorer.
a scorer. Yeah, he definitely
Kobe Bryant was a scorer. Michael Jordan was a scorer.
Yeah.
I don't have to mention Wardell Stephen Curry II. Tell me how the fuck Kyrie Irving is a scorer.
Oh, well, you have been apt to say the following quote, which would be that.
Wait, go.
Okay. Quote. Current NBA fan is stuck on two things: stars and stats. Close quote. So they think that Kyrie Irving's a star, and when he puts up stats such as like 50 points on 70% shooting, there's the stats. So when you have those two together, all of a sudden people think he's a great scorer. And you know, people will probably say, well, Irvingologists will say he finishes well on the rim. He's very creative with basketball because he has the best handles. Someone will say best handles today. Others will say best handles in history. And my overall opinion is he is streaky. And unfortunately, your sound's off. He's streaky. He's a streaky shooter.
History, my best handles in history, my ass. I've seen better.
Yeah,
Magic Johnson, John Stockton, Lafayette Lever. Shall I go on? Kevin Johnson. Shall I go on? Fat Lever.
Yes, that's a bad man. Yep.
Fat Lever in the mid 80s was one of the baddest motherfuckers to play point guard. He just ran into an era of point guards.
Yes, and the best era of point guards in history.
He just ran into an era of point guards. One of our favorites, Kevin Johnson.
Oh, talk about underrated. Skilled with the ball, was a shooter.
Let me say that again. Let me say
hops.
that again.
All of that.
Let me say that again, Irvingologist. Your king of point guard sucks. I can name you 5 point guards that played in the 80s, and I don't have to say Magic Johnson or John Stockton that were better than Kyrie Irving.
You just say Zeke and leave it right there.
We can leave it. We can leave it with Isaiah Thomas, but that will be too easy.
Right. Okay. That's why I say it, because it is.
I could say we could say Derek. We could say Derek Harper in his Maverick days. And I mean it about Derek Harper. I already said Kevin Johnson.
And agree, Ben. I don't think he's the best scorer either, simply because he's streaky.
This is where I put. This is the only time where I'll push back against Ben. Great handles. I've seen better. Have y'all seen Kevin Johnson bring the ball up the floor? Have y'all seen Mark Price bring the ball up the floor?
Well, yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Have you seen Isaiah Lord Thomas III bring the ball up the floor?
Oh, you want to talk about handles? That dude could have been on the
Isaiah Thomas Isaiah Thomas will give you a wraparound dribble and leave you stuck.
People talk about Iverson's first step, which was lethal. Isaiah's. Whoo! Okay, but
see, I mentioned Lafayette Lever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy, Fat Lever, Denver Nuggets. Okay, you know who else I can mention? Terry Porter.
All right. Stick it for just a quick second. That Blazers team, people think it was just Drexler only.
Mm-mm.
They had some studs on that team, and Terry Porter was one of them. The fact that the way he led that team to 2 Western Conference championships is proof in such a talent-rich league at the time. That should tell you how good of a point guard he was. But
how about Michael Adams?
Underrated.
Everybody wants to sleep on Michael Adams. Played with the let me say this right. Washington Bullets.
Dude's range was ridiculous.
Spent some time in Denver.
Yeah,
Allen
I remember as a Nugget.
Fucking Iverson. And thank you, Ben, for that reference. Allen Iverson. Let me go back in the day.
6'6", and he was only 6 feet tall, and I'm 65 pounds.
Muggsy Bogues out of Wake Forest.
Man, you want to talk about heart? He may have been
Muggsy
a little
Bogues.
man. He may have been a little man.
He didn't care. He didn't care that he was a little man.
That dude's heart was twice the size of his body. For real.
There you go.
That dude had some heart.
There you go. Here's one for you. Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd is one of my top 5 of all time, bro. Square biz.
Jason Kidd.
Jason is one of my top 5 point guards of all
time. Jason the Captain Kidd. One of my homies from Chicago. Tim Hardaway.
Best still.
Yeah, we're talking point guards that are better than Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving to me ain't shit.
Still, to this day for me, best crossover I've ever seen, Tim Hardaway. Still, to this day. Best crossover.
That's why his shoes were named the Killer Crossover. The UTEP 2-step, the Killer Crossover. Okay?
That's one of my favorite nicknames.
Thank you, Sick. Chauncey Billups.
You had to be a big shot, didn't you? You had to open up your mouth. Mr.
Yeah, Chauncey Billups opened his mouth and backed it up. Let me say that again, Irvingologist. Chauncey Billups, 6'3" out of Colorado, opened his mouth, talked his shit,
and
then backed it up. Evidence, 2004.
Now, you want to talk about a guy who was a clutch player?
I'm sorry, did you say clutch?
CLUTCH. You want to talk about a guy who's a clutch player? That would be Mr. Chauncey Billups.
Big shot Billups.
He knew what to do with the team. He knew how to get every player on the court involved, and he knew when to take the game over, and it was not forced. Unlike Mr.
Irving. Oh, this one's for you. Sam Cassell, number 10 out of, if I'm correct, Florida State.
That is correct. I saw the maturation process with him. People know him. Yeah, he would run his mouth. Yeah, and he would still run his mouth. People know him from when he was mature with the Timberwolves. But the first 2 years with the Rockets, when he was a rookie in his second year, you were seeing the maturation process. And he actually had the similar mentality as a Kyrie Irving did. He did. But when you play for an Akeem Olajuwon, who just wouldn't put up with that crap, and a Rudy T, who was all about, and a Rudy Tomjanovich, who was all about team, no matter what it was, it was all about team. Everybody had a role, you had to fit in it. He learned how to play the game, and he became an unbelievable point guard.
He was dynamite. He was absolutely dynamite.
Yeah. To the point when he was with the Timberwolves back, I think, 2004, you looked at him and it's like, yeah, this is an unquestioned general on the floor. Yeah. He learned that 10 years prior, taking notes, being then the first year being a bench player, and then having some starters minutes the second year. Yeah.
So, Irvingologists, riddle me this. Where's his clutch gene? After 2016, I haven't seen it. And the next year, Stephen Curry cooked his ass.
Now, Sick. let me tell you. Let me tell you about the glove, man.
Gary Payton
Now my
with the, say it with me, y'all, Seattle Supersonics.
Let me tell you real quick about the glove, Sick. So
He gave the Rockets.
Yes.
He gave the Rockets fits.
I was going to say my team's the Rockets, and most point guards, the Rockets could handle most of them. There was a few that they gave him fits. They never could corral him. They could not do anything with Peyton, and I mean on both sides of the floor, not just defense.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't offensively handle him because Peyton just knew what to do on the offensive floor, and people gloss over that.
The only 2 point guards.
He knew how to involve the right people, and defensively he was an absolute dynamo, and he gave every single point guard the Rockets had fits. Oh,
the 2 point guards that gave the Rockets the most fits in the late 80s and early 90s were Gary Payton and Kevin Johnson.
I'll add a third name, and yes, Kevin Johnson is in that list. But it was only for, well, I'll say this: it was late 80s, a rest period in the early 90s, and then they picked up the mid 90s. Derek Harper.
So don't give me this bullshit about Kyrie Irving, and don't give me this quote that Kyrie Irving would have been a scoring champion. You know, scoring champion, my ass. Okay, because Kyrie Irving is not even a good point guard. Can I say that again? That loud thump you heard was me dropping the microphone. Kyrie Irving is not even a good point guard, and he hasn't been since 2017. He tried to be a leader in Boston. He got injured, and the Celtics came within 12 minutes of a world championship appearance without Kyrie. Second year in Boston, Kyrie says, I'm staying put. Then 24 hours later, he's on the first thing smoking to Brooklyn. Now let's break down his Brooklyn appearances, shall we? Oh, wait, we can't. Let me say that again. Let me break down Gary Payton. Let me break down Kyrie Irving's appearances in Brooklyn, shall we? Oh, wait, we can't. And now with the New York City mayor being fucking stupid.
Oh, wow. But this was a campaign promise. Remember.
With the New York City mayor. I don't give a fuck.
Remember.
With the New York City mayor being fucking stupid.
This was a campaign promise. He was actually on CNN in October saying, and when they asked him the question, he actually said that he
wait.
Okay.
He actually said,
quote, I'm going to look into this mandate and I'm going to do everything I can to lift it because I'm a Nets fan. Close quote.
Let's put a pin in it there and go there. Now, what is this mayor's name? Do you have his name for me?
Doggone it. I want to say Adams. Hold on. Give me a sec.
Okay. Because I have a few things to say.
Eric Adams.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't like to cuss, but when stupidity reigns supreme, like it is in New York, I have to. Eric Adams, you stupid motherfucker. You're going to put the entire borough of Manhattan / New York City in danger by lifting a mandate that was put in place for everyone's safety. And because you're a Nets fan and you want to take advantage of that suite that's waiting for you at the Barclays Center, and I'd rope that sumbitch off.
Wow.
You want to take advantage of that suite or your court seat, your courtside seat, and I'd rope both of them off. I rope them both off.
Rope them both off.
Stupid son of a bitch. I told you, I may not be feeling good, but I got stuff to get off my chest. I read that yesterday and I went off. You're going to put the most populous city in the United States in danger because you are a Nets fan. Well, first of all, I'm sorry for you being a Nets fan. Second of all, I'm sorry for you being fucking dumb. Why am I calling him dumb? It's pretty simple. What if an outbreak happens in your city because you were too chicken shit to keep enforcing the mandate? Because you were too chicken shit not to tell people, look, if you want to attend these sporting events, you got to get the vaccination. Vaccination helps. And this is from someone who, with the vaccination, survived COVID, and it only had me down for 2 days. The vaccination helps. Trust me. You got people walking around here unvaccinated without a mask. To Sick Diggy's point, he's unvaccinated. That's his choice. I don't blame him for making a choice.
I don't either.
But at least Sick Diggy is smart about it by having a mask every time he leaves the house. I love him for this.
Yeah. Look, Sick, I agree with you
for this. Yeah.
I agree, Sick. But that's what the man actually said when the mic was put in his mouth.
And on top of that, thank you, Ben, for this. Kyrie was still sitting on the sidelines without a goddamn mask.
Mask free. Yeah. That to me is when I said, okay, you're allowing this man to make this mandate a mockery.
And he's done nothing but make a mockery. So he only had two choices: try to enforce it further or lift it. He went with choice 2 and lifted it.
Mm-hmm.
He lifted the mandate. Now he can do what he wants. I just feel, and this is, you know what? You gave me this. You gave me this one. I'm going to use it. My take is this, and my take is simple. You are jeopardizing an entire borough. You're jeopardizing basically an entire state.
So, Sam Shady. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
I hate this thing because that's the second time that's happened, and it happened all day yesterday, and I thought I took care of it. Anyway, old Snowman's take is this: you're being stupid for lifting a mandate that is to protect the people, and now you're putting them all in jeopardy. That's Snowman's take. What's yours?
I just don't understand.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And I applaud Sick Diggy's decision and actions thereof.
I have no problem with that.
Kyrie, fuck you. I never thought I never thought I would say that aloud, but I'm going to say it. Kyrie Irving and Eric Adams, fuck you both. Thank you, Ben. You either enforce the mandate or you don't.
Ding. That's right, Ben.
Let me flash that again. You either enforce the mandate or you don't. I don't think he was enforcing it when he got in office in the first place, but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. You're damn right, Sam. No holds barred on this show. So riddle me this, urbanologists. Why was your hero being stupid all throughout the mandate? Oh, you don't believe me? His sister's birthday party. That tell you anything? We're still in the midst of a pandemic, and I will say he went to that party in the height of the pandemic.
Oh yeah. We ain't forget you, Kyrie.
Mm-mm.
You took 10 months off in 2020.
10.
I know there was a pandemic that had the break, but you got injured in February. You came back on the court in
And
December. And then 2 weeks later, you felt compelled and shook because of the insurrection at the US Capitol. That was your reasoning and excuse. But then we see you shake your groove thing at your sister's birthday party about a few days later.
insurrection at the Capitol in Washington. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Please finish.
Yes.
Please
yes,
finish.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we saw this unfold, and this is before your mandate crap. And then we saw this unfold even further when you were donning the white and the green of Boston, when you were sometimey there and you found out that team played better without you than with you. You see, we could say that you were a great scorer. People could say that you're box office. People could say that you have great handles. People can call you Uncle Drew all they want. Heck, I'll still call you Uncle AWOL, Rebel Out of Cause, and the Wool People's Champ all day long because basically you steal.
Same.
Even with this mandate lifted, are nothing but a part-time player.
Period. This whole mandate thing has been trivialized nationwide. That's the fucking truth. For social and political gains, public safety should come first. Well, we see that in New York City, it doesn't come first.
But to your point, Sick, as on the money as that is, you were wise enough to know. Brian is wise enough to know. I'm wise enough to know. It doesn't. It's about whose political flavor does that particular politician want to bend to. That to then comes first.
He capitulated to the Brooklyn Mess, the New York Bricks, the New York Yankees, and the New York Mets. Eric Adams, you basically capitulated to sports. Who takes care of sports? The public does.
Yeah.
And you put the entire public of New York City in danger because you're stupid. Because you lifted a mandate that was in place for people's safety. And you put the most populous place in America in danger. And I say this about the politicians who don't give a fuck about the public safety. Eddie Griffin said it best. Thirsty bitches.
Oh my God. That never gets old.
Well, there's urbanologists, folks. That's the newest group we've added. So we now have bronzesexuals, we have wenchsexuals, we have Bradyites, and we got urbanologists.
Bad bartenders, huh? Okay.
Very horrible bartenders, and their king is the worst. Their king is the worst.
Lord.
Soon we're gonna have to create the urbanologist handbook. I see it coming. We'll do that before the playoffs.
Oh Lord, not the urbanologist handbook.
You started it with the bronzesexual handbook. Look, I know you couldn't help it, okay? Trust me. It had to. Listen, the bronzesexual handbook had to happen.
Yes.
Okay.
It did.
The Bronze-Sexual Handbook had to happen. At the same time, the Bradyite Handbook had to happen. It had to happen. Okay. Now, the Irvingologist Handbook has to happen because people want to gloss over the fact that Stephen Curry cooked his ass in 2017. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Cool just sent me something in Messenger.
Oh, no.
What did you send me, sir? Oh, no. You know what? We're going. Wait a minute. I'll have to forward it to you off the air.
Okay.
And folks, tomorrow will be episode 2 of Speaking Our Truth with Snowman and the Ice Queen, and we're going to talk about laughter and why it's so necessary. Tomorrow, we'll have a full show for you. I expect to be feeling better, and it's all football. Fuck the Irvingologists. Fuck the Bronze-Sexuals.
What an Tricia.
Oh, and Tricia. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Guys, I'm in Europe. Over here, mandates have been imposed and lifted, and imposed and lifted. Again. Politicians have been unwilling/unable to get a handle of this crisis.
100%.
You know where that shit started? Here in America, I have 2 words. 3. Donald fucking Trump.
Oh.
And I'm not one to talk politics because I hate politics, but I'm going to relay something to close things out that, Cole, I know you've seen from a distance because we talked about it daily while I was in North Carolina. It goes like this. Donald Trump had the opportunity to snatch this thing by the throat and control it within the first 90 days. Because 90 days was the time period that every reporter was giving. You know what happened?
Right.
Thank you, Aunt Tricia. You know what happened in those 90 days?
Thank you.
Not a goddamn thing. Because Trump sat on his fat ass and reaped the financial benefits while those who were suffering from COVID died.
Well,
am I wrong in my opinion anywhere, sir? Did I say something that's factually? Oh, and Tricia got something for me. He tried to hide it. That he did. Thank you. Thank you. He tried to hide it. Thank you, Aunt Tricia. He tried to hide it.
It was that this was something no head of state really knew how to handle it, and they tried different ways to handling it, and all of them sucked. Every way they handled it sucked. But the best it would have been, it failed. I mean, worldwide, literally failed. And the only way you could have done it was when they eventually came to the decision and the consensus to, let's just shut society down for a minute. And that's when it started. But before then, it wanted to be like business as usual. And people paid the price for it because a lot of people
worldwide paid the price for it.
I know all of us here could say, well, yeah, we had a few friends and relatives die within the first weeks of when we all decided to simply quarantine. All of us could tell stories about
too little, too thank you. Too little, too late. Too little, too fucking late.
And that was the problem.
I lost one of my best friends in Mark Farina to COVID pneumonia.
And that was the problem right there.
And the day I lost Mark Farina, I cried. We shared so many baseball games together. His son reached out to me. Lewis reached out to me. and said, what are some of the best memories you had with my dad? And we're saying it. People were dying before the quarantine. Thank you, Aunt Tricia. So true.
Yeah,
People were dying before the quarantine. I mean, they were dropping like flies.
Yeah, they were.
I was in North Carolina at the time all hell broke loose. We were working at Amazon at the time while I was hosting this show. And it's like Aunt Tricia said, people were dying before the quarantine. And you put the quarantine in place way too late. The quarantine was put in place way too late because people were already hitting the floor. People are already biting the dust. Then the mask mandate came in, followed it. The social distancing started, followed it. But it was too little, too late.
And one of the places that was hit hardest, New York City.
New York City, which goes back to the Irvingologists that are so happy that the mandate's been lifted. You dumbasses. What if an outbreak happens? I'll go further. What if an outbreak happens in the Barclays Center? I'll go further than that. You know where I'm going, Sick Diggy. You know where I'm going. Everybody in the chat, y'all know where I'm going. What if an outbreak happens at MSG? What if an outbreak happens at Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, I was about to say you even had to go bigger than that. Yep.
What if an outbreak happens in the Meadowlands across the way? As far back as October, people were dying. What if an outbreak, Eric Adams, I have a question for you. What if an outbreak happens at Yankee Stadium? And I love listening to Yankees games with the great John Sterling and the legendary Michael Kay as the radio and television voices, respectively. Don't get it twisted. I love it.
But we're not over this yet. Yeah.
Hell no. We're not even past this, let alone over it. It was just the beginning of outbreaks. We had an outbreak in North Carolina.
Yeah.
That shut the state down. Yeah, look, when the mask mandate came down, or Shea State, or what's now City Field.
Yes, now
City Field, yeah. Yankee Stadium, MSG, the Meadowlands, because people can carry it. Eric Adams, what are you going to do when what's the word I'm looking for? When an outbreak happens in your city, in one of your stadiums? Let me say that again. Every other state has been very careful in getting a handle on this. And I like what the 49ers did. Northern California shut down for the final 3 games of 2020. And the folk in Arizona said, come on down, we got you. Safety first. Safety first, Eric Adams. That's why the 49ers had to play the last 3 games in Arizona. I'm looking at you, Eric Adams, with a side eye. What if an outbreak happens in your city and in one of your stadiums? And I especially mentioned the Barclays Center because you're a Nets fan. Stupid ass.
Yeah. Or in MetLife Stadium, sick. Exactly.
Oh, I'll touch that tomorrow because it's a football subject. You know, Rod Peterson, one of my best friends, keeps mentioning one little bitty fact. We're not over this pandemic yet.
We're not.
It's still a pandemic.
2+ years.
It's still
and counting. Yes.
2+ years and counting. and it's not even under control. But each individual state, especially when it comes to sports, and I love this, have taken the bull by the horns. What have you done, Eric Adams? You let the monster loose. Hell, what am I talking about? It was already loose. You just made it worse. I'm having surgery on April 4th for my pancreatic cancer. Support the show through Patreon, patreon.com/SIT morning. You'll see behind the scenes footage of when I go in, when I come out, and a lot of other stuff that I'll be uploading. Next week is my final week in the chair before Cole Johnson takes the chair. And then after I get out of the hospital, I will be back. And I will be back, and we will be back tomorrow. So until tomorrow, have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
then they are not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. And my dreams are scaring the fuck out of me. But I don't care. I'm going to chase them all down. Running down the dream ain't got nothing on my ass. Not only am I going to run him down, I'm going to catch him. The late, great Ed McMahon said it best. We reach for the stars and we catch him. Have a great day, y'all. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Tom Petty.